let's get our bass in here. Let's have a listen to it anyways. What I've gone ahead and done is I've just added a group channel to the bass. So if you look at the routing, both bass tracks are just going into this mono bass group. So they basically just combine on this track, and basically I have one channel in which to process and, ride the volume and that sort of thing. So we got a bass DI, and then we have this bass amp, I guess. I'm not sure what this is, if it's an actual upright. I don't think so. It sounds almost like one of those Hofners or something like that, but it sounds like they've mic'd it. So I'm not really sure exactly what the deal is. So one of the things for me is that I don't make any decisions on the bass until other things go in, because, when it's just drums and bass, I usually can't really tell if the bass is in the way of anything or if it's not in the way, so we need to bring other things in order to kind of make those decisions. There's no point in just carving something out before you have other things that are competing for real estate or whatnot. So let's go right on to our guitars. So we have a guitar on the left and a guitar on the right, which I have hard panned. And they sound like, I'll just solo them. They sound like this. I think these sound pretty awesome as well. I feel like they're balanced really well. The only thing is they might be, they need a little tiny bit of compression to my ear just to kind of even them out. And the main thing for me is like all of that sort of choppy, thing that's part of the playing. I think we can tame it a little bit just to soften it up in the mix. So first things first, let's compress these. Always like to use an LA3A compressor, or an emulation of an LA3A anyways. Always at the end of the song when we start doing this. So there's just a little bit more immediacy to the sound. It's a little more in your face. It's a little more consistent. And it adds a little energy, right? When I bypass this, it sounds a little more relaxed, and it's like it sits back in the, in the speakers a little tiny bit more. So we'll do that. And knowing that the other guitar is kind of in the same spot, I'm just going to go ahead right now and I'm going to copy it over. So in this program, I just go Alt when I do that, and I Alt click and drag, and that just copies that setting. So quick little listen on the other one. So again, yeah, it just takes some of the ice pickiness out of it. We may have to resort to removing some more of that in a little bit, but I feel like that's okay for now. And frequency-wise, I feel like I'm going to leave these things alone for the moment. So far, we're not really doing much of anything to anything. So there's also these two room tracks right here. And these are just actual microphones up in the room. I will show you this one thing. So what I decided to do earlier in my first attempt on this is you can do two things if you have a room mic. So I could either choose to kind of have, this is guitar A room and this is guitar A. This is from a tube mic. So this is just the close microphone, and then when I bring in the room, this is what it sounds like when it's panned over on the same side. And that's cool. What I found earlier, what might be cooler, is if I pan it away to the opposite side and just bring the volume down a little bit. Right, so it makes it much more sort of stereo and interesting to listen to. So that's what I decided to do, and so I did the same thing with the Guitar 2. So Guitar 2 is panned right, and then this track now, B room, is panned left. So together, they all sound like that. And I have assigned them to just a VCA fader. So remember, a VCA fader, I think we've talked about this a little bit in a couple of other courses. A VCA fader is simply going to allow me to control the level of all of the guitar faders with one. So if I decide that maybe later that the guitars are a little too hot in the mix, I can just come over here and grab VCA 1, and then I can just pull it back right here. I'm not sure I dig what they were going for here. I'm going to try sending this bass through an amp sim. I'm going to see if I can get it sounding almost a little more like the DI track, but just through an amp. Yeah, so on its own, it sounds pretty horrible. I'm trying to just get something that sounds less horrible. I don't think there's nothing I'm going to do here that's going to make this sound like gold. But there is more note in this, so I'm gonna try this out in context. Okay, I think there's more note. And so we can work with that for now. That's all I want to do at this point. Just give that some more note so it's not just like attack and dying. Hopefully that makes a little sense to you.